That we're not, like, there's more to the opposition than Sinn Féin. I think we've put in, as a party, we put 69 amendments in to this residential tenancy board. And for you to turn around and say that we're not giving any constructive criticism, we've been in government, Labour have been in government, we have a very good track record of building houses in this country. Like, you could say that, I can't say the same, unfortunately, for Fianna Fáil, which actually, if you want to go down that route about talking about stopping building social housing, and then you're talking about the residential tenancy board, if it's a big brag that you're at 70% increase in it, but it was coming from a really low base. So when you say that we're not actually giving, that you're not, like, this Residential Tenancy Act has been amended more than 14 times. That's once every 18 months. There was talk about housing czars. So you'd come in and say that you're not, that we're actually not being constructive, and that you're saying that you're accountable. So if you are going to be accountable, Minister, why wouldn't you accept this amendment that my colleague Conor Sheehan put in, saying that it's to insert a new bill, the Minister be required within 2 years to conduct a review into the operation and effectiveness of the amendments made in this bill. This would include findings and conclusions be laid before the House, and to some accountability. I can't even, as an elected representative, I can't even keep up with what's going, like the changes that are happening to this bill all the time. So you're talking about the role of councillors. How can councillors, and you're blaming officials in local government. Like, I worked as a councillor. I know that we get representatives. That's our main thing, is representatives from people that are getting notices to quit. And maybe you should start thinking about refunding local governments, like how the housing stock that they're not able to keep up with their repairs because there's no staff. So there's a total deliberate, there's an underfunding of local government, particularly within housing repairs. This has come up over and over again. Like, I send reps into our local Sligo County Council and they're not able to keep up with the housing stock that they have. So I think it's so disingenuous of you to blame officials in county councils about this and saying that they're not actually, that they need to be held accountable about it. They certainly do, but they need to employ more staff. But that's in your gift, though. But local government, if funding local government is. Sir, and it looks like that I've got the final amendment of the day now.
Sorry.
And I think this is a very, it's a very realistic.
Anish, one voice at a time. Senator Crossbow.
That's all right. Thank you. It's not a very far-fetched amendment. I think it's a very good one. It's basically to insert a 3-year eviction ban. And I suppose most small landlords, anyway, reasonable landlords, might be very willing to do this. It's the big institutional landlords, I suppose, are the ones that probably wouldn't be in favour of introducing this eviction ban. But the section would, in effect, reintroduce the emergency period, which you remember during COVID-19. The emergency period was provided by the Emergency Measures in the Public Interest Act, and during that period there was a statutory pause on all termination notices. So we are calling for this pause until there's more houses built. I think it's very reasonable. And we have another amendment further on, which unfortunately we're not going to be able to get to, which we're calling for an eviction ban on homelessness. So basically, stop evicting children. Unfortunately, because this has been guillotined, we're not going to get a chance to speak about it. But if you do accept this amendment, under this section there would be a similar ban. It's only for 3 years on all termination notices and evictions. And I think that's pretty reasonable. Like, the fact that you've accepted, we had 69 amendments and none that were accepted. I think this would be acceptable. I think it would be very fitting that you might accept this amendment today. Thank you.